Alright, so yesterday I did a mock draft video for my mock draft Monday. And I put the randomness tab all the way up, and then I put the other two tabs all the way down. And I think a lot of people got confused because I saw a lot of comments of people saying like, "What is this? This doesn't make sense." Well, that was the point of the video. And the point of the video was it was going to be all random. Now today I'm gonna do a little bit more logical, okay? But I do want to put the random tab a tad bit higher. So normally this is what we rock when it comes to these mock drafts. We have care for positional value at like here, draft for needs here, and then randomness here. So I kind of want to move randomness a tad bit up, just one tab here. And I want to go ahead and do a 7-round mock draft for the Cincinnati Bengals here. Now, care for positional value, draft for needs. I feel, because, again, listen, every single team has a different value to what they do. Some teams, yeah, they literally just want to fill the needs on their team and fill the gaps they need to fill. But some teams, they really just care about, like, what position that player's at. So, for example, it's an edge rusher and it's the best player available. Go for the best player available, right? So that's kind of why I want to change it up a tad bit here. So we're going to do +1 on the randomness, which should give us a little bit less of a predictable situation that we're in right now. And I did that. And is all the offensive tackles taken? No. Okay, Mims is still available. Tyler Guyton's still available. Jordan Morgan still available. Okay. And then obviously we still have Nate Wiggins available. We still have Brian Thomas available. Kool-Aid McKinstry. And all those other guys available as well. Now, I know a lot of people have been commenting my videos, and I do read a lot of comments. I do appreciate all you guys who comment. And a lot of people have been saying about, what about going with an edge rusher or a defensive lineman, right? Either or this single position. And again, like I said, it's very possible that if there is one available that they do like, for example, Jared Verse, who has dropped a lot down in some of these mock drafts, down to this kind of area. It's possible that they do kind of look at that, or they look at Newton, for example. He's another player. I know a lot of people said in my comment section that they want him, but it's just, I don't know. It's how I feel like it. How I feel right now is they know they have to protect Joe. And while, yes, you might say, well, you could get an offensive tackle in the 2nd round or 3rd round. They know better. They know the only way we're going to win a Super Bowl is by getting Joe protected. And everything else will come by the wayside because everything else doesn't matter. If you can't protect Joe, it doesn't matter if you have a star edge rusher or a great defensive lineman. It doesn't matter. So that's why in all these mock drafts, I'm not trying to be like a broken record here when I just take an offensive tackle every single round. Every single 1st round. But it's to a point where I just mentally can't fathom them taking anything else but an offensive tackle. Again, is it possible to take someone else? Like if Kool-Aid McKinstry is available, yeah, it's possible. Edge rusher, it's possible. And again, once we get to the draft, you never know if someone's going to drop. It's very possible somebody drops. Very possible somebody drops to, late in the 18th pick, which is really not that late, honestly. And we could potentially have an option that is, I'm trying to think on the top of my head here, maybe like Dallas Turner, who's a really great pass rusher. Brock Bowers, who's a great tight end. Maybe Joe Alt. Joe Alt is available. We take Joe Alt no matter what. But my point is, there could be some guy who does drop down to that 18th pick, and we take him over a tackle. I just highly doubt that's going to happen. And all the options available right here, I really do not. There's no one that could be available that I would say we would take over an offensive tackle, in my opinion. Because, again, like I said, even Dallas Turner, even though he's good, I think we still take a tackle. Brock Bowers, maybe, considering maybe. But even then, I don't think we would. I think we do have a lot of trust in Tanner Hudson. We have a lot of trust in Drew Sample, and we also have trust that we can get a tight end in the 3rd or 4th round. And especially if we do draft sign Dalton Schultz in free agency, I don't think we would go ahead and look toward a tight end in any way. Especially not in the 1st round. Maybe in like 3rd or 4th round potentially, but not early rounds. And again, Newton is another guy. But now looking into our 2nd round, this is where Again, like I said, I've been kind of split with some of these picks. So, for example, in this mock draft, it looks like Chris Jenkins, did he go? Yeah, he went in the first round. Now, he is going up draft boards. And it's kind of pissing me off because you guys know this is a guy I love to go in the second round with. And it's just how football works in mock drafts. And, you know, the right before the draft happens, players go up and down mock drafts. But the guy that is available in a lot of these mock drafts and a lot of mock drafts in general is Christian Haynes. And I'm falling more and more in love with this guy as the, you know, kind of we get closer and closer to the draft here. He's a guard. More importantly, a right guard from Connecticut Huskies. Now, he can play left guard, obviously, but he's mainly played right guard. But he could play left guard if we need as a replacement for Cordell Volson. 6'2", 313 pounds. Really great in the zone run game. He's also not the great in the gap grade, but pass block and run block pretty even. Really altogether a great player. And so I've been like falling more and more in love with him in the second round here. And then outside the second round, this is kind of how I'm looking, right? The first round, offensive tackle. Second round, probably going with a couple different options. A guard, I would not mind a defensive lineman or an edge rusher, depending on who's available, or corner. Those are the kind of positions I'm looking in the second round. The third round and on, I'm probably looking at some positions like tight end. That's where I'm kind of going to a maybe corner if we didn't target them in the first couple rounds. We do have DJ James here from Auburn. Again, we do have to replace not having Cheeto. We're going to have to replace that in this draft. So that is definitely a position that we're going to start to look for, especially in these rounds. But number one, like I said before, is protect Joe Burrow. There's no question about that. I really can't see us going anywhere but protecting Joe Burrow. Especially because, again, he's not healthy. If he's not standing behind that line, we saw what happened at the end of the season. You're not going to a Super Bowl. You're not going past go, collecting $200. You're GG, you're done, go home, you had a good day, and that's it, right? So that's the only problem here. Now, got him. Got a couple good edge rushers at this point. Thing about the Bengals, though, is they could always just go best player available. Now, they're not going to go with a running back, I don't think, in the third round. They're not going to go to quarterback, and while I do love the idea of going with a safety for rotation purposes, I don't think they go this early with a safety. I know I've had him in the past, but I don't think they go this early with safety. So I'm probably kind of gearing here toward maybe a defensive lineman, 6'4", 295 pounds. I wouldn't be against the idea of going defensive line in the third round here. So let's do it. I haven't gone with this guy before, so I kind of wanted to change up these mock drafts sometimes, and this could kind of go toward that area. All right, so let's go with Cade Stover. We're going to go with him in the fourth here. Let's go to our next pick here. We're going to go with cornerback. Not too much of a fan. 6'1", 197 pounds. This is what I've said many times. I really, really, really want to target safeties or corners in this draft. If we target safety, I want to target them that are good in run support. 1000%, because again, that's what we like to use our safeties and corners for, to go up, inch up on the line and be able to shut down the run. And right now, we don't really have many players who are good run support players. Dax Hill is great. He's a coverage guy. He's not a run support guy. Neither is Jordan Battle. Corners, other than Mike Hilton, aren't really run support guys at all. So that's my only problem. Now, again, can they learn and get better? Absolutely. So I am going to take cornerback here. I'm going to take Hayden out of Tennessee, but you could make the argument for somebody else in that spot, but I'm going to go with him for that said reason. I'm thinking here. I don't know if I want to go double tight end. I've been going double tight end in a lot of my mock drafts, and I do like the idea of going double tight end. My only problem is we bring back Drew Sample, we bring back Tanner Hudson, then you got obviously whoever we take in the third round, Cade Stover. Fourth round we took Cade Stover. And then you have another tight end. I mean, you could go 4 tight ends, though. I mean, we did that with Mitchell Wilcox, and then we also did it with Drew back in the day, the old Patriot tight end. So, especially with injuries and problems along that line, it's not a dumb idea to go get as many good tight ends as possible. Here's another thing, running back, though. Because Joe Mixon's not going to last forever. And Chase Brown's the future, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to get another running back in this system. Thing is, though, I'm also looking at wide receiver. And I know we haven't talked about it much, but we do need to somewhat target wide receiver. Not completely, like, over-target wide receiver. But if we got, we're going to bring back T on the franchise tag, right? Then we're going to have Tyler Boyd's going. Yoshi and Chuck Sizzle are going to have to really pick up the slack and, become number 2s and number 3 receivers. But to have another guy in there, if we can't get back Trenton Irwin, I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer at this point. We're going to get back Trenton Irwin, but let's say, hypothetically speaking, he does leave. We do need to have someone in that rotation as well. Yeah, I'm thinking about who I would go with here. I might go with a 6th-round receiver here. I mean, we could always pick up someone in free agency. Yeah, I think in this spot here, I'm probably going tight end. I don't love the idea of going tight end, because I think we could go elsewhere. But I'm going to go tight end. I'm going double tight end. See, this is why I'm not against the idea of going with... Okay, I think I'm going to go wide receiver here, but I'm not against the idea here of going with something like guard, maybe. And I know we kind of tripled up on guard here, but I'm not against the idea of going tackle or guard here, just to get another guy in there. I mean, listen, as many players you can have, as potential backups or rotation pieces, and again, with injuries, especially on the offensive line, it's one position you can never have enough depth on. I'm going to go with Frank Gore Jr. here just because we do need a running back for the future. But again, like I said, I know I say a lot of things in these videos, and then I might do the opposite when I pick a player. But I'm just kind of spitting out my, my thought process is on a lot of these things. And then whoever does fall to us. Like, for example, I'm going offense tackle here. And I guess I'll go linebacker. So let me kind of analysis what I got here. So I got a B grade wise. They gave me a D on the cornerback from Tennessee, and I'm not against them on that. I don't know if that was the best pick, to be honest. I love my Mims pick here. My Christian Haynes pick, I really like him as well. I'm kind of on the fence about Rook here. Cade Stover, I like it, but I think we could have went elsewhere, and we could have just got Ben Sinnett in the 5th round, and I think that would have been okay. But I kind of do want to get more of a higher end tight end early on. But again, like I said, you could go elsewhere with this pick and then just kind of go with this pick and maybe go with tight end back to back, which I wouldn't be against. And maybe go with maybe a safety, not safety. I'd probably go with maybe a cornerback with this pick and then just go back to back tight end. I really like the tackle in the 7th round. I think he has, low, you're giving up a low capital and you're getting return potentially a good player. And then this guy, I'm not against the idea. So I don't think it's a bad draft. Yeah, I'm going to say it's pretty decent. But tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.